Greetings, greetings, greetings. This is Revere Sky, Revere Sky's Essence. So today is reflection on finances. I don't know how much storage I have on here, but I am going to start this topic off. This is a very long topic. This is when you reflect. Okay, I'm 34 years old. I watched my mom sell $50,000 houses and get in the $1 million club twice, meaning you sell enough houses to make $1 million worth of sales at $50,000. So back then, the brand new houses were $50,000. Okay, this is about 20 years ago. And after financing, they probably bought the house for $75,000. Okay, now the thing about this is she sold $1 million worth of houses. So that's 20 houses. Twice she did it. And then she said that she can no longer compete with the internet. But I think her brain is still stuck in that phase that a brand new house should cost $50,000. So it's hard to get any advice from her, uh, or to seek any knowledge or wisdom from her. Like she think today in 2022 that we should still be paying $50,000 for a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Okay, maybe a non-remodeled home built in 1920, 1930, 1950, sure, but maybe not a brand new home. But anyway, so me being 34, what's your goals? What's your dreams? Your goal is to get your finances right, to get your dreams right, to start setting goals in your mind about what you want. Now y'all know I'm running parallel with doomsday and prepping, right? So of course, me seeing what is available to me seeing what's available to me and how much money a bank is willing to give me, it actually made me want to look into houses, even though I said right now you should not buy or sell. But deep down, I asked my spirit, I'm like, is this the new normal? Will this inflation go back down? Remember, I told you modular homes were 89,000, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Now modular homes are 220. That's their basic plan, right? And all these homes built in 1919 in Florida probably was $30,000, $20,000. Now they're $300,000, and the ones that are not remodeled are like 150, 190,000. They're cash sales. They're not even remodeled. Okay, you can't just borrow money from the bank and move into these homes. They're not going to allow that. Okay, so it freaks me out because you live your life. You're no longer a young adult, and all of a sudden, inflation hits. And all my mother could say is, all you can do is save your money, baby. But you have to think about it. When you work hard, you play hard, you really want to relax. You really want to relax. It done got to that point in my life where I'm like, dang, do I need to rent an apartment at the beach? But that'd be money lost if I get a $2,000 apartment at the beach. Okay, that'd be a lot of money lost. So I'm like, well, if these people in California can make $3,000 a month and get an apartment that's $1,600, $2,000, and catch the city bus every day, I think I could pay mortgage in the inflation in this inflated society, right? But these houses, you got to be very mindful. In 10 years or 7 or 8 years, these houses will flip upside down. and the value of the house will go back down. What's crazy is an old man told me, he said, well, just wait until they go back to war. Once they go back to war, they'll have money and things will be booming again. First of all, wait. See, that's why I don't trust this country because, wait, we have to go to war to not have inflation. So you mean to tell me the banksters are saying, oh, I need you to pay some of this debt, all that money you're printing, and I need you to go to war and handle some business for me so I'll quit overtaxing y'all, overinflating y'all. And this old guy was content with that. He was he was very content with saying what he said. Like that is the norm. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me they're inflating us to convince us we need to go to war and do a bid for them? Man, this world is crooked as hell. Now, again, me being 34, it irks my nerves because I said, just imagine what people my age are going through now. They sit up there and watch the houses on their block be like $50,000 and $60,000, and here they done got a job making $600 a week, and all of a sudden they can't even afford a house no more. All they can do is afford rent. And here I am. Well, let's put it like this. The lender, and as a new home buyer, told me that I could borrow up to $432,000. Okay? Even though I'm not going to borrow that much money to buy anything because I'm not trying to slave drive myself to keep it up. But I think about it and I do the research, and I was talking to a real estate agent and I said, they giving out all this money, but they really ain't got no houses. And he was like, that's why you got to get your realtor agent so they can get you the house before it hits the market. I said, yeah, I know about that too. I said, but I really don't think that. I said, that's why they giving away all this money because they ain't got no houses. So here I am. I'm saying, oh Lord. When you think about your savings, you're like, should I really give somebody 20% down on a construction loan, or should I just buy me a camper, to go behind my F-150? That's what I'm really thinking. Like, but this is the thing: these $15,000 campers are $30,000 now. Can you believe it? Like, how did we live to grow up to have something? Get ourselves in a position to have something. And now all of a sudden, everything's inflated. You might as well chop our dollar in half. Our dollar is 50 cents. Our dollar is only worth 50 cents, y'all. So I'm sitting up here like, don't buy, don't sell. And I have to, agree with my first mind, but I'm to the point now where I'm like, hey, I want to stretch out. I want to relax a little bit. You know, I want to actually enjoy some of this life on this planet while it's available. The breath. I want this breath to be able to just wake up and feel at peace. Okay? And yeah, it may come with a price. Okay? But, I'm not going to sell nothing to get it. I ain't got to sell my soul to get it. I may have to use my time, but I ain't have to sell my soul to get it. I also reflected on partnership. Like, I wouldn't care if my partner was a man or a woman. Swear on everything. It could even be a group. But I'm not really looking for a committed relationship like husband, wife. No, that's for the birds. That's a whole nother ball game. But I am looking for a business partner. Definitely looking for a business partner that uh, want to grow. Want to grow. Um, yeah, it made me really reflect on that. You know, having a business partner will help me out tremendously because, like I say, the dollar is cut in half right now, whether y'all believe it or not. And then when that man said that hopefully we go to war and hopefully the inflation stop, because I was sitting in his dually with him and I was like, you know what? People are gonna be around here ready to fight. And he was like, what you mean? I was like, man, do you understand? To go through school, to go through college, go through the struggle in life, and when you finally about to, you finally decide you ready to humble down and buy something, everything's inflated. People gonna snap. People are going to snap. Like I can already see the epiphany and the glitch in my brain. Like somebody's gonna snap, not me, because I already know what the deal is. I already know what's gonna happen. But a lot of people my age, between 29 and 40, are gonna snap because what they had their eyes on and what they had their dreams on didn't cost as much as it did 4 years ago, 3 and 4 years ago. The pandemic really made things seem like in demand. Remember, anything that's in high demand, the price go up to slow you down from buying. But anyway, I've been looking for land with a house on it. I don't care if it's a trailer, a single wide trailer, but I want the land more than I want the trailer. The trailer will just, or the mobile home will be, the mobile home will be just water and electricity hookup that I need for the property. But I'm really looking for the land. And I'm trying to reevaluate Florida because the way they got these cell phone towers and HARP able to just freeze your banana trees. Like my banana tree survived 3 winters without being burnt by the cold. And this time they hit my house so hard with that cold or whatever that fake stuff is they use it, and it burnt the banana tree to the point where it doesn't have a single living leaf on it right now. It may have one on it now, but I've never seen it do that. Like when it killed my papaya trees, and then the Mexican around the corner, it killed 10. That man had 10 papaya trees in the yard, and it killed all 10 of them. And I had papayas for 3 years straight, big, juicy papayas. So I'm reevaluating living in Florida, but I work out of Florida. I do business out of Florida. I'm like, is this what it really come to? I'm not giving nobody no 100,000, no 200,000 to be on no quarter-acre lot. I would never do it. I'll live out of my van. I will live out of my van. I need at least an acre, minimum an acre. Um, my grandmother said I could put a house on her land. I don't know. And see, I already got a house, but like I say, location, location, location. I'm already doing business and I work out of Florida. So it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. I really need like that 40 acres and a mule. That's all. Like, I will not settle for less. It seems like. So This what it boiled down to. My spirit says you don't need to be stationary. My spirit said you need to be ready to pick up and go. When it comes down to this physical realm, it said you need to be able to pick up and go at will. So the only thing I could think about is don't pay 20% down on a new construction. Don't pay 20% down on a mobile home. I do have the option to do 3.5% on a real property. My spirit said, keep yourself mobile, keep yourself moving. But that's the thing. All these campers that were $15,000 are now 30,000, 40,000. Like the way this inflation happened, like when I was looking for a house 3 years ago, I should have been getting a house then. And we was saying that everything was too high and inflated and the pandemic didn't even hit yet. So my friend that got married, they bought their house 7 years ago. That's right, they bought their 3 bedroom, 2 bath house 7 years ago. They did good. You get what I'm saying? Everybody that bought their houses 7 years ago did wonderful. Okay? The little inflation they were worried about was nothing. We are in a time where people are trying to create war to deflate shit, and we're in a time of inflation. And I beg the pardon, like on actually renting an apartment. But hey, I might have to do what I gotta do. I gotta relax. I gotta relax. I gotta chill a minute. And I might have to do what I gotta do until I find what I need. And I'm also thinking about completely relocating, but I'm like, do I really want to be around all these Mexicans? I love Mexicans. I really do. But I'm saying they stick together so strong that you'll get disgusted. Like you'll be so mad with their shady shit just to stick together, you know? And I'm too observant and I see too much shit. I, I'm not nosy, I just see it, you know? And I'm like, eh. But I'm really thinking about completely relocating. But when you want to relocate to a place like Texas or just somewhere on the I-10, anywhere, it doesn't matter where it's at. When you're trying to relocate on I-10, you're dealing with some shit. Like you got to deal with HARP, you got to deal with weather controlling and monitoring. Like Alabama always having them tornadoes. You really got to deal with something. So I'm starting to think like bump being tropical. Okay, I'm not leaving the United States. I'm not leaving the United States. I'm not going to another country. And I'm to the point now where maybe I want to live somewhere where I could grow a bunch of different types of apples. I'm really reevaluating the tropical lifestyle because it's overpriced, it's ratchet. These moldy, mildew ass houses, they remodel them, but they still moldy and mildew. Um, I'm over it. Like these 3 bedroom, 1 bath houses where they put a new kitchen in there. They to me they're like toxic. You know what I mean? They don't even have a roof. They look like old Brady Bunch flat roof type houses. They ain't got no land. Everywhere it's the hood because it's Florida. You know what I mean? You got a bunch of people living in one house. Like these tropical environments are overpopulated. Like Florida is overpopulated with Cubans, Dominicans, Haitians. You know, it's just overpopulated. Texas is overpopulated with Mexicans. California overpopulated with green-eyed Mexicans. Like they look white. Uh, I'm saying it's just overpopulated. Everything is overpopulated, and any place that's overpopulated, you're supposed to get away from there. But I do business and I work out of Florida, so I'm gonna have to conjure some shit up. Yep, you can't sit up here and buy something and can't pay for it. So you gotta stick with what you know. I'm gonna figure something out, but I definitely was thinking about like, dang, do I really need a partner? Do I really need a partner? I'm not family oriented. I'm solo dolo. So, I just don't know how I would cope. I really don't know how I would cope. But again, this is a business partner. This is not all that extra stuff. I just not affectionate or anything like that. You know, I just don't know how I would cope. I'm really looking for a best friend or a companion, but business savvy. Yeah, I just thought I would vent about that. I'm saying, just imagine buying a $300,000 home with one bathroom. That's stupid as hell. Or buying a $300,000 home that ain't got no backyard. Like, heck no. So I just, uh, that real estate class, I made a 65. Then I got too busy. I didn't make a 70. I made a 65. I was supposed to go back and take the test again, and I didn't do it. And my mom was like, "You're supposed to be getting that MLS sheet. You need to go take your test." But hey, I might have to go take the class again. And I was like, my brain not even ready for that right now. I think I did good to make a 65, and I taught myself because you have to make a 70 to go take the state test. But when all them laws and stuff, I wouldn't even, my brain didn't even want to learn that stuff then. I was lucky to make a 65. The math part was totally easy. Like I could crunch them numbers. It was just some trick questions. Some trick questions. But I was supposed to go take the test again in a month, but they give you up to a year, and I just completely flatlined it. And she was bitching with me. She was like, "You're supposed to have access to the MLS right now." She said, "That's why you're struggling because you didn't go past that test." And I was like, "Man, you just don't understand. My mind was not in it." But it may be time for me to go crunch them numbers again, read them laws, and pass this test so I can have access to these MLSs. Having access to the MLS gives you first choice on a lot of stuff. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get off here. I'm surprised this thing didn't pause on me or stop yet. But yeah, to be in my 30s and everything is like, woo, you know what I mean? Like, just imagine. I be saying to myself, if they're willing to give me that much money, what would they give me if I had 200 or $300,000 a year? They would loan me a few million. But all I can say is, y'all, right now, there's no time to buy or sell. Save all your money. And if you're paying rent, more kudos to you. But you got to save all your money right now. While the inflation is going, only buy what you need. Only buy what you need. Because when it's time to buy, a lot of people think that. A lot of people say, oh, everybody going to be upside down in their houses. They're going to lose their houses. The government gonna shut down. Some weird stuff gonna happen, and this gonna be the time to buy. It's gonna be the time to buy. But at 34 years old, who got time to wait for that? You got people right now paying $200 and $2,400 a month rent, not worried about tomorrow or nothing. That's why I was saying, well, just like you have pandemic babies, just like you're gonna have inflated homes. But I would rather be paying $1,500 in mortgage for 30 years than paying $1,500 rent for the rest of my life and have nothing to show for it. Like straight up. Do you hear me? So we just gotta see. I'm still reflecting if this is the new normal. Will these inflations go back down? Or are these inflations a new starting point? And if there's a little more time on here, there is one thing I wanted to say. I wanted to say that these houses, the way people fish, that's why you have to buy the house before it hit the market. They Let's say they put the house down for 220,000 and 100 people saved the ad, right? And 100 people called them. So they'll put the house up to 240 and they'll lie and say